Hi everyone, and yes, we are saying goodbye to the year 2024, and I told myself I must do something regardless of how not perfect it is, and I thought, I would just quickly wrap up the year with some lessons I've learned the hard way.
This was done in partnership with the Storyteller Company, telling stories, changing lives.
One of them for me, because this video is going to be short, one of them for me is perfectionism isn't sustainable. I remember I did a video on perfectionism. What you guys didn't know is that I was talking to myself, because it's a big thing I struggle with. It's a tough lesson I've learned is that striving for perfection can lead to burnout, can lead to stress, can lead to, failure to not achieve a lot of things, projects, tasks. When you try, to get them to be perfect, you either are overwhelmed or, they don't turn out as expected, or you don't even do anything at all. So what am I going to do differently? Because knowing about the problem is one thing, but having an action plan, what you want to do is another. So what I'm going to do differently is I'm as hard as it is, I am going to learn good enough, and which is why I decided to do this, because if you're telling yourself that you're going to learn good enough is enough, embrace good enough, then you don't have to wait till you're in the perfect setting or the microphone's here or whatever you get. So yes, I'm going to learn to embrace good enough, and I'm going to learn to ask for help where I need help. I'm going to learn to delegate. I'm realizing that progress is more important than being perfect, and I think with that, it would free me from the trap of perfectionism. And I think the perspective shift for me here is that I'm learning that growth comes from doing. Okay, you can only grow when you're doing. You need to be consistent. You need to keep going, regardless of, whether you've dotted all your I's and crossed all your T's. So it's not endless refinement. Perfectionism is an illusion. It keeps evading us. Even some of the things we put out there, it's not like they're 100% perfect. You embrace them. So embrace good enough. And I'm learning, my perspective shift is that I'm learning that process matters more than the outcome. So I'm just going to keep doing that. So that's one lesson I learned this year. Tough lesson I learned this year. I think another one I would say I learned this year is people will let you down. Yeah, people will definitely always let you down, but you have to keep going. Yeah. Relying on others, whether it's relationship, whether it's work, it can sometimes result in disappointments, and your expectations are not always met where people are concerned. So for me, what I'm going to do differently with that is I'm going to learn the importance of setting clear boundaries. Setting clear expectations early on. Yeah, not after the fact, but early on. I'm going to learn to be more self-reliant, but I'll still value mutual support, because sometimes, when people disappoint you, when people, hurt you, there's a tendency to say, oh, I no longer will depend on people, and you lose, the importance of support from people. So find a balance. Don't go to the extreme on either side. Yeah. So the perspective shift for me on this would be, people may let you down, right? People may let you down, but you can't let that stop your own growth. You can't let it, stop your growth, stop your dreams. You need to learn that trust and communication is very key. But at the end of the day, resilience is one of the things that matters the most. So yeah, That's the second thing. Second lesson I learned this year, tough lesson I learned this year. The third would be time doesn't wait for anyone. Procrastination, oh my goodness. It's been a thorn in my flesh for the longest time. Putting things off in favor of comfort or, whatever reason you have for putting things off, it can often lead to a lot of missed opportunities and regrets and time wasted. And these are moments that you can't take back. Moments where you didn't take any actions, where you should have taken actions. So what I'm learning to do differently now is I need to learn to stop waiting for that perfect moment. Perfectionism comes in again because a lot of perfectionists have procrastination as something they struggle with. So yes, stop waiting for that perfect moment and start something. Start something, whether it's a goal, whether it's a dream, whether it's a target, whether it's a project. Start something, or even a conversation. Just start and take baby steps, take small steps, not giant strides. And those little steps, they can lead to bigger results. The perspective shift for me in this would be that time's precious and it waits for no one. You know what that phrase is, teaching time says? Is teaching time says 9? Yeah. So yeah, again, I said time's precious. Waiting is harder than acting and doing. Waiting is harder. Even small actions add up to great results, add up to great things. So do more. Do more, learn more, grow more, and progress more, get great results. So time waits for no one. So another hard lessons I'm learning here. And then I think another hard lesson I learned this year is taking care of yourself. It's not selfish. No. It's not selfish. It's not. Not taking care of yourself actually can lead to exhaustion. Can even lead to resentment in some cases. I sort of had a health scare this year. Not a lot of people know about that, but it was just as a result of, allow myself get overwhelmed and not learning to take 5 for myself. Not learning to pause, hit the pause button and check in with myself that I'm good. So I'm learning that I need to check in with myself, and if something that you're not doing, you should start doing it. Learn to check in with yourself. I think for me, what I want to do differently is take self-care seriously. Don't wait till your body breaks down or your mind breaks down or your emotions are all over the place. Schedule regular check-ins with yourself to be sure that you're fine. It's important to recharge your battery so you can show up for all the others. When you're fine, you're strong and you're fine, then you can take care of the others. I think here the perspective shift for me would be that again, self-care is important. Taking care of yourself is not selfish. It's only when you fill your own cup that you have something to pour out to others. So if you're not filling your cup and you're running on empty, you can't help all the others around you. That's just the truth. So yeah. Yes. Self-care is not selfish. Take care of yourself. In 2025, take care of yourself. And I think one of the last but not least I would say here with regards to tough lessons I learned this year is not every opportunity is meant for you. It's time we learn to recognize, when to say no and when to say yes. Sometimes saying yes to every opportunity or invitation, it can lead to overcommitment issues, and it can lead to stress. And I've learned that not every opportunity aligns with my values and goals. So sometimes it's good to embrace one of the shortest sentences in the world. N-O, no. But what I want to do differently with regards to this is I want to be more selective with what I commit to. I want to ask myself whether I want to ask myself if the new opportunity I'm looking at aligns with my long-term goals, my long-term visions, my core value. Yeah. And the perspective shift for me here would be learning to say no. Yeah. Learning to step back from certain opportunities as a form of self-respect for myself. Focusing on what truly matters, which can lead to more truly fulfilling, meaningful progress. So yeah, these are some of the tough lessons I've learned. I think one of them I would add here as a bonus is don't hold on to the pain. Whatever it is that you have experienced this year that has caused you pain, don't hold on to the pain. Learn to let it go. Learn to feel the pain, right? I'm not asking you not to. Please, by all means, feel the pain, but don't hold on to it. Let it go and move on. I think it's one of the most important things that you can do for yourself. Feel the pain, and after you're done feeling the pain, let it go and move on. That's some of the tough lessons I've learned in the year 2024. You might have learned more, but it was one of those years, especially in my country, in my part of the world, where things were just tough. Life was tough. Government policies were not favorable to a lot of people, a lot of, the average man. But you're still here. I mean, it's the last day in 2024, and we're still here. And we will survive in 2025. And we will become bigger and better. There are people who, when they started this year, they were worse off, and then in spite of all the challenges, they're doing well. That could be your song, that could be your story in 2025. So what I'm saying is, don't give up, keep your chin up. Things can only get better. That's all I have for you today. And I promise, some of these lessons that I've learned, you're going to see results. You're going to see more results from these lessons I've learned in the coming year. Yes, I'm going to work on it. I really will. Thank you so much for being here. For those of you who've been here, and for those of you who are just joining, you're welcome. I'm not going to, be unfaithful by being irregular, because these are lessons that I'm going to carry with me into the next year. And I decided to share some of these lessons because, you never know who's like you, who's also struggling with this, maybe for a different kind of project or personal stuff that you can't talk about. But, I wanted to share that with you. And I do hope that it helps someone out. So have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful 2025. I'll see you next year. Bye.